Welcome to Fireteam Chat, IGN's Destiny show. Joining me today is Fran Mirabella.
Hey, Guardians.
And that's it.
That's it.
Good to see you, Fran.
Thanks. That's all.
No. Not like that's it. It's just Fran.
That's
it. It's just the two of us today.
It's just the two of us.
It's just the two of us.
We're all
we can make it if we try. Today, we're going to talk about the patch notes from last week. We're going to talk about the new festival and winter event and some of the updates from the weekly update. And we're going to talk about Hard Raid.
Yes.
Seeing that is the big topic. We're going to try and be spoiler free, not give away anything for those of you that want to go in blind.
We won't talk specifics this week.
But we are going to get into that right away. So come back.
But how about that ending?
Come back in 8 minutes if you're really worried about spoilers.
We're not really talking about specifics because I don't want to either.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's
Fran,
too early.
you haven't finished it yet.
I'm at the end, and I don't want to get into it
overall,
we would have been fine. But
do you think it's hard?
Actually, no. It's fairly straightforward. I mean, I would recommend going in at 390 light. If you can, you don't have to, though. You'd be fine at 385. You just got to really focus up. 390, I think you'll feel a lot better. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely not one of those things where they changed up a ton, but there's a couple surprises, right? Without spoiling them.
I think the opening encounter is pretty much the same. No changes there, really. Okay, yeah, I guess that's...
No, it's minor.
I said come back in 8 minutes. It's your
not
own
a spoiler.
fault.
It's not a spoiler, that part.
The second encounter was probably the most challenging thing out of all the raid for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you get stuck on that part? How'd you do?
Actually, we did, but I felt like it was just a lack of communication. And honestly, here's the deal. The team I played with, we used to play together, except actually for two of the guys.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really a team I've ever played with. And so we were just like all over the place.
Yeah.
And honestly, there was no clear leader because everybody was trying to be like just whatever with each other. And anyway, I'm definitely more the type, as you know, on the show where I'm like, I want to do it my way. Let's go. But I never am the type to I don't like raiding with people who do become like the alpha player. It becomes annoying. So I actually avoid doing it.
That's why we haven't played together again.
Yeah. No, we played fine together.
Yeah.
That wasn't a problem. But you know how it is. Honestly, I do always say this. Raids are a timepiece. And yeah, you need a keeper of the clock.
Yeah.
And you need someone who's good at it. And like, when you play with a team who has it, I mean, maybe you're fine, but you know how it is. People just start doing weird stuff, and you're like, so why'd we die? And then people don't want to even talk about it. I'm like, but that's the whole thing. All you got to do is figure out why you died and solve it.
Yeah.
But if any of my team is listening, like I did have fun. The truth is we just haven't had a chance to practice. And I was totally not ready. My loadout was not ready. I went in with like, I wasn't ready. I said, I'll be ready at 8 because I didn't want stuff to be spoiled. And I went in with like a bad loadout. And then I'm like, guys, can I switch my loadout? And they just like kept starting it. And then that made things worse. But
honk, honk. Oh, that was you throwing people under the bus and then running over them on the way out.
No, I made tons of mistakes in the raid. I'll happily say so. I was off. I was also sick all weekend. And I kind of went into it with a bit of a stiff neck and a fever, so TMI. But
I went in with my regular crew. I've been running every Tuesday with the same group. It's been great. One guy in particular I'm a little upset with because he was too
big semi-truck.
I need to ask him what's up because he's been a no-show twice. I hope everything's okay, but it's not like him, and I just got to figure out why.
What's
been going on.
He didn't actually get to play with you, so you had to replace one person.
So we did have one alt. We had trouble on the second encounter, and then, man.
Well, you can still say what it is. You had trouble on screens.
No, not the screen. Screens weren't the issue. It's just those shanks, man.
But what I was saying is that was the encounter you had trouble on. Was,
Vosic.
Yeah. Axis is the last.
Yes.
I know. I still mess up the names.
Yeah.
But yeah, you had trouble with Vosic.
Yeah, and for me, the final encounter, I'm like, all right, we got it from here. Fun. And then we got stuck on the final encounter. And the issue was with the new team configuration on our right side. And we all went in. We were all tired that day. And then we got there, and I'm just like, all right, we're going to take a 30-second break. We took a 30-second break. And the guys said he went and did some push-ups.
What?
Yeah, okay. He's like, he must have been like, really tired. So he went, they did some push-ups, they came back, and we did it the first try.
All right.
So
push-ups work to beat the raid. You heard it here first. So, but anyway, I mean, I guess
I do want to say shout out to the whole team there, including Champ.
Yeah, you the whole list.
I'll get the whole list
Yeah,
here.
while
really
you pull
quick,
it up, I
but,
do want to
yeah.
mention that the team I normally play with, at least a bulk of them, went on to be 70th in the world, I hear. They played with Dubstash as well.
Dubstash
who's a
featured
streamer.
on Bungie,
Yeah, oh
actually.
yeah, and
Yeah.
the new Redoublic, check it out. It's featured on Bungie, but Dubstash 558 on Twitch is a good friend of ours and a great guy. But he raided with a lot of my team, and they raid basically. It's the middle of the day on a Tuesday, and I missed it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was more bummed to hear that. I wasn't able to get a slot because we do have like eight really good raid players, maybe 9. So it's always a matter of who's available.
Mm-hmm.
But
So here's off the top of my head, it's Champ, Pat Matt or Matt Pat.
from YouTube,
No, Pat Matt Mraz.
Okay.
So that's those two. Me, Xavier, of course.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're gonna hate me.
They really
Goji,
are.
Goji, and then the guy who wasn't there, but instead, oh man, I can't remember who subbed for him.
you'll find it near the end of the episode.
But anyway, thank you guys. It was actually a really great raid. They stuck with it. Champ was like, I want to go to bed. I'm tired.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Push-ups,
we're
man.
We're at the end. Like, let's just take 30 seconds. And for raid teams, like, man, when you start getting in that headspace where like, oh, I'm frustrated, taking that little break is sometimes all you need. Then you come back and you do it in one.
But
yeah.
but I really would reinforce. Honestly, it is not that hard. It is a matter of
It isn't.
There's like it's a challenge, but if you go in at 390 or above, I think you'll be totally fine. You just need to take that moment to figure out what's kind of new, which is not drastic, is what I would say. And that is what surprised me. It wasn't like drastically new. I think the challenge modes could be really interesting. But yeah, so I really did enjoy it though. I was actually kind of glad that it wasn't a big pain in the neck.
Yeah.
And the rewards are good for me so far. I got really lucky with my drops.
Rewards are great.
Yeah, I was 391 very quickly. And
Pro tip, make sure you make your key and grab the chest on the right. It will say heroic loot, not normal loot.
We should have mentioned that. Make sure you're looking for heroic because if you just go open the chest like crazy fast, you're going to waste a key on a normal chest. We should actually take a moment to talk about some of the weapons. I don't know if you got any.
Ooh, so I got the sidearm, just dished it.
You did?
I don't need the sidearm.
You didn't even try it?
Yeah, nope.
Look at
I put it right into my sniper rifle. I'm like, I'm going to get more of these. I don't need it. Got the machine gun. It's good. Again, I put it into my
fast
sword.
rate of fire.
I put one into my sword. Then I got another one. It's fast rate of fire. It's like a 70 clip. Not a lot of stability. It's good, not
and it
amazing.
returns, I believe, a bullet to the magazine every
Fourth.
forget what it is. Yeah,
Fourth.
but effectively,
Fourth
it's got a
crit.
huge mag as long as you're on target. So it's pretty cool, but it's pretty shaky. And like, yeah, honestly, there's other machine guns that are quite good, so you don't need it. But I actually thought the design was cool, man. It looks cool, and the sniper is the thing to talk about, though.
That's what everybody's talking about. I didn't get one.
Oh,
Did you?
Man, I did, sir. I did. The thing about it is it's great for PvE, especially because it hits like a truck. But it's got 3 in the mag, and then when you reload, it gets 4 or 5. I forget.
Nice.
But it gets like more off of the reload. So anyway, it just hits really hard. So it's really good for the raid. And I mean, technically, you should be able to you should be able to kill supers in PvP again with that bad boy. But I mean, the scope is so long range that you probably won't use it in PvP. It's not good for it.
If you're talking raid weapons right now, we're talking legendaries. Datto just did an amazing study about some of the best sniper rifles in the game. And currently, the one for DPS in the raid is the one you want to get from the Crucible vendor.
The Event Horizon, yes.
Yeah, Event Horizon. Get that bad boy because
awesome.
it hits like a truck. It is really good.
Yeah, so
he hasn't compared it to the raid sniper yet.
Okay.
But they're
similar.
It was comparable to Gallahorn damage levels.
Yeah, their rate of fire is slow, but their impact is really high. Event Horizon is awesome, but it doesn't have quite the same perks, right? Number in the mag and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you can get a roll with like triple tap on that Event Horizon, that would be awesome. I have a triple tap LDR that's really good for the raid, but I wish it had as much impact as these, man. I mean, it's just killer. So
yeah, Event Horizon right now and Devil's Dawn are the two that everybody are talking about, and
Strike exclusive.
Turns out Event Horizon is slightly better,
Yeah.
but the meta right now is Devil's Dawn. Last word. That's what I was told on Twitter.
They're both awesome.
So,
how about that?
yeah.
If you have Devil's Dawn or Event Horizon, you're totally good to go. I was going to say, I really want the hand cannon, which I believe is available, right? but I haven't seen it yet. I haven't even heard of it.
Some people got. I think somebody on my crew got it. Yeah. There is a hand cannon. I have seen it on Twitter.
I hope it's not a letdown like Zuli's Bane from King's Fall. That was trash.
Yeah.
And I love hand cannons, so it was supposed to be quite good, I think.
Well, what are some of your favorite hand cannons? I don't use them very much. So.
Well, I use hand cannons a lot in PvP. So, I mean, IS Luna, no contest, is killer. But actually, the Amulan Ufern is quite good, believe it or not. But it's a gunsmith. And you got to get a decent roll. You need to make sure it has rifled barrel and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Luck in the chamber would be very nice. And then, actually, the palindrome, which they're now selling from Crucible, is really quite good. So actually, that's what's really nice. Go to the Crucible vendor and just buy palindrome and Event Horizon when you have marks, as long as you have them to spare. It's a good
I
way
have
to spend your
tons.
marks. I think everybody already bought those, by the way. They're like, we know. So hopefully you get some good rolls on them. You know what I've been doing lately is trying to get more perfect rolls on my armor and stuff, which I kind of I like the way I look in the game, but I'm starting to try to assemble both the look as well as the roll.
I want T11, T12 rolls on all my armor. And actually, point on that, check the rolls on the artifacts each week. Sometimes you'll get, like, last week they had a better roll on Yolders, the one that for Infinite Sprint. So I just infused my old one into the new one, and now I have, like, a really high percentage roll. And I check my roll percentage on Destiny Item Manager. It is actually a fantastic tool. Most of my armor is 198 to 100% rolls, and I actually have a pretty decent looking loadout. You know, like I keep the raid arms there. Raid arms serves that purpose of you need heavy, so I'm like, all right, well I'll take my 90% raid arm roll and pop them on
because of the perk on it.
Because of the perk on it.
Yeah, and I like
that's what you have
gear.
to balance. Ideally, you got a set that looks good, that has the perks that you want, and you're still around T11. T11, by the way, is 11 points in intellect,
There's
discipline,
5 bars
strength
per each one, and so the highest that you're going to get is up to 12. That's the highest you can go. But yeah, anyway, I've been spending a little more time on that. Gives me something to do.
Oh, I eat that stuff up.
Yeah,
it's so fun.
I never bothered with it before, but now I'm paying attention. I brought it up because obviously it's cool getting new gear in the raid, but I'm torn between, you know, I like keeping the normal raid armor because it's red, and then the new stuff is black. But, you know, at the end of the day, they have basically the same perks.
If you get a set, you can just pick the shader. So if you get a full set
so if
of
I
either
get heroic
mode
heroic mode gear for the raid.
If you get a full set of heroic armor, you can get the red shader that makes it all look red.
Oh, it's the same as default?
And then if you get a full set of Splicer, it gives you a shader that makes it all look black. So you can choose how it looks. Go check out your shader vendor. I was looking last night.
Nice. I didn't realize they're the same color, because that is another nice thing that I don't think people pay attention to, is the default, when you turn shaders off, gear has default looks. And sometimes when you put them all together, like Trials gear, by the way, check it out without the shader. It's all blue and yellow, and sometimes people just don't realize that because you always have a shader on. But that's cool in the raid. I didn't realize you basically get a shader for each, so you don't have to worry about it. And they're the same then, basically.
Yeah, go check it out. It's it's nice. It looks good.
Oh, but sorry, the only thing you can't, the perfected ornaments, which I'm excited about. If you check the update this week, they're all in red at the top of, actually, good
and
point.
Glowing.
I didn't even realize that. They're all red, not black colored. I thought maybe it was the ornament, but they're all red with like these red shooting out of like this like Siva creases in their armor. And that is a perfected ornament, much like Trials. You can put on an ornament, and much like the ornaments for your guns. But we can't get those yet. I believe they come from the challenge mode, which is TBD. So.
Actually, that is a good segue. Let's talk about some of the events coming up. So in the weekly update posted today, we're recording on Thursday, posting on Friday. But in the weekly update today, they discussed some of the new weapons, Festival of the Lost, which is coming up, and then talking about Festival of the Lost for a second. Thank you, Bungie, for making the helmets have a kiosk. The helmets that we purchased with our real money have a kiosk. That gave me so much vault space. Like, I'm already, thank God, I'm not worried about armor for a while.
So you know what sucks with this stuff is that I'm so happy but simultaneously pissed when this happens. I'll tell you why I'm happy is for the same reason you mentioned. My vault is a mess. Constantly I'm figuring out what to infuse or get rid of while I'm in the middle of raids, and like I'm having like a meltdown mentally because I'm a hoarder. I have all of, my gear from Vault. I have all the stuff from King's Fall and so on. I just like to keep my sets. And then I like to keep hard and normal sets and so on. Anyway, too full, but I had all those masks in there. Now you can delete the masks, just get them back. But you know what sucks?
If you deleted one before they did this update, it's not there.
It won't be.
That's dumb, but...
That is dumb.
It's
I don't know
like,
the technical
whatever.
reason, but
Yeah.
But the reason I'm pissed is because it makes me think this is not that hard to do. And so we were talking about it before, right? What else do you wish they do this with?
Raid stuff. Raid
Yes.
armor and weapons.
Yes. Why do
Yeah.
I have my Vex? Why do I have all of my legendaries from Vault? Like,
Well, you can
why?
get rid of your Vex. You can get that from your weapons.
I know, but I like having it.
I
Just
know
in
what-
case
I know
want
what you
it.
meant.
It costs money to buy again
And
so,
upgrade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I don't like wasting that if I just want to break out a Vex and terrorize somebody with
Yeah.
the sound. But it sucks that for the other raids, they just pony up the kiosk. Like, I get they have a live team and limited resources, but this would solve so much around the vault. Just launch kiosks for each of those, and I'm not worried about the rolls on my armor. I get that's part of it, but honestly, I'm not that worried about it. I just want the gear. And then, obviously, on the weapons side, like, why do I still have Light of the Abyss and Fang of Ute? I don't need that stuff in my inventory.
You know what
I'm terrified to delete it.
I thought about this when we talked about this off the air, and you know what I think they might be doing? I think they might
Torturing me?
I think they might be making a book for the old raids. A whole new set of challenges, a whole new set of unlocks. Like, imagine if you could get all the Vault of Glass armor by completing the year one book per se.
Like, you go back.
You go back, and then like right now, if you want any of the armor, you just
It'd
go
work
to a
like the current
package.
book.
Yeah, you get a level 3, and you just infuse the gear and it'll mirror the stats of that piece of gear.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
If they did something like that for what would it be? It would be Vault of Glass and Dark
Crow's End.
Below, right? And Crota's End.
Sorry, yeah, Crow's End from
Yeah.
Dark Below.
So just make a book for those raids where
Yeah.
you can get the drops again.
Yeah, go back. You have to do the missions and go do all that stuff. Make a book. That's a great way. I mean, the same thing applies. It's the kiosk method. Sure, I think the book's a better idea. You're right.
Yeah. If there's a technical reason you cannot do the kiosk, I think maybe that would be their solution would be the book instead.
Hardest challenge in the book is when you have to disconnect the Ethernet cable. So I can't wait to make sure I do that one. But I will say though, does that mean interesting idea. But based on what you were saying about if you deleted your helmet before the kiosk, now what if I don't want to go back and do all that stuff? I already have it. Are you telling me I have to complete the book now that they release it? That's a bit of a gotcha. So I don't know what the solution is, but I don't like carrying around all that stuff, but I am terrified to delete it.
I have all that old stuff, especially the primaries that have burns on them.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
just great for those bounties. Like, go get 50 primary with fire kills.
Primary void, Atheon's epilogue.
Yeah.
Or,
whatever
any
you
number
have.
of that stuff,
Yeah, void kills. I put on all my year one stuff for my Thorn bounty and got my void kills.
Yep.
You know? It's
There it
just,
is.
yeah. What else do we have on here? We want to talk about the patch notes. We're kind of going over that now.
Well, we should do you want to finish Festival of the Lost and the ornaments and stuff that they were talking about?
There is a winter event coming. Festival of the Lost, though, is the one that is immediately coming in. In the update, it says, it's no secret that Festival of the Lost shall return to bring some autumn flair to Destiny. Very soon you'll learn exactly how and when the Guardians will celebrate the memories of lost souls. Already there are previews in the game for how you can costume your bad juju.
That's right.
So yeah.
Autumnal flair, by the way. They tried to throw you for a loop. It's autumnal, a word not often seen, by the way. Anyway, so the bad juju ornaments look cool. And they also showed Thorn, which I think Thorn looks cool. Bad Juju looks really cool.
Bad Juju and Red Death looks sweet.
And Red Death looks awesome. So
Yeah.
the ornaments that they're putting on these bad boys, which is perfect for the Festival of the Lost, just like gothic or scary. Pretty cool. So be sure to check out the photos that they have out there.
They also gave you 15 silver dust, and they gave you, if you still had paper glue, you could dismantle one at a time for one silver dust. That was a nice little treat. I'm not going to use paper glue.
Yeah, silver
again.
dust is rare, man.
Yeah, it is very rare, and I almost think they gave you the 15 because they want people to start buying those ornaments.
Yeah. They did something like that maybe it was just when they launched. Oh, actually, Microtransactions launched with Festival of the Lost last year, didn't they? Wasn't that when Silver
Around the
launched?
masks, yeah.
For
masks
that,
and the emotes.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, they had given you, remember, like a gift of a couple hundred silver.
Yeah, to
something
try it
to
out.
buy an emote or something to get you
Used to
go
it.
to the store to walk down the aisle, so to speak. I think it's part of it. I also think, Silver Dust is obviously seems very heavily a microtransaction play, which actually is kind of annoying.
25 silver dust is too high. If it was 10, that would be that sweet spot, I think, where
What
people
costs 25?
everything. It's all 25 dust, right?
Is it? See, I haven't even looked.
I'm pretty sure it's 25 dust, and for me, 10 dust would be more of a sweet spot.
And yeah, for clarity, the silver dust is used to buy
ornaments
and stuff like that. Silver is used to buy emotes and stuff like that, right?
So you can use the silver. That's what you spend real money on. You get a bunch of silver, and then you can buy the packages that give you dust.
Yeah.
And ornaments and everything else.
And that's sort of my point here is you spend money to get silver.
Oh.
Then you get a package, and you might only get 1 or 2
You
dust.
use the dust to buy the ornaments at Xur.
Yes, correct.
Yeah,
but
and
my
they're
point
25
is,
at Xur.
you can't just go and buy silver dust, right? You can't.
Not that I know.
No. You actually have to open packages to get drops of silver dust, which then you can go and hopefully have enough for your ornaments. That's how they get you. And I will say it has been, for someone who likes all this customization, it has been hard for me to resist to just go in and start buying packages and getting my dust. But
you have a chance to get the ornament you want in there also.
Yes, and that's the nice part too. I will say they have been in those packages, but again, I had to buy them.
Yep.
They're giving you the ornaments, but I guess the short of it is it feels like it's way too expensive to use silver dust to buy those ornaments.
It is, and the economy is confusing. That's why I can't speak intelligently about it, is because I don't understand how it works. I'm not going to spend money on that stuff.
Well, you have no silver dust for Xur, basically. You had my guess is you had very little. I've gone to him several times, and I had leftover silver, and I still only had it was a very small amount of silver dust, and I was like, I can't even buy this ornament that I want.
Yeah.
So I was actually like, yeah, you know what? I'm better off spending $20 on silver and just gambling to get it. Well, out of impatience, obviously. But yeah, it's I don't like how the ornaments and silver dust are done. I didn't mean to go off on that rant, but
yeah. Well,
it's kind of annoying.
I mean, yeah, the microtransaction system, it exists. Everybody knows I don't love it, so I won't beat that dead horse anymore. But
your time will come, Destin. Don't worry.
But I do just want to say, if you're trying to make money, this probably isn't going as well as it could, because I think you've set the bar a little too high expense-wise. 25 dust for an ornament Xur selling is expensive.
My problem with it is unlike...
Does Xur sell it for 25, or can you buy it for strange coins?
No. You have to buy. Yes, the ornaments you have to buy with silver dust, I believe.
Yes. Okay.
Wait a second.
If we're wrong, I'm just going to apologize.
Now you're making me all confused. Yeah. I was like, either way, let's just keep it simple.
I have to because I opened a package.
Yeah.
That's why.
But either way, to apply the ornament, you need to use silver dust.
Yeah.
So either way, you're in it for silver dust. You totally made me forget, though.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is there's
it's a confusing system.
A ton. Yeah, of course. If we go down the list of all the different stuff, even though they've narrowed it down, it is very confusing. I mean, they just had to get
emotes are great. I get it. All right, I got my emote.
Yeah.
That's
a lot easier.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I was going to say is there's only so much that you can do in this game now, right? I mean, we have enough for now, but my point is customizing becomes a part of the ritual for the people that spend a lot of time. And it feels like a very high barrier to entry that, I'm sitting here looking at, they're going to release ornaments for Bad Juju, and Thorn, and Red Death, right? But they're not going to give them to you, right?
Yeah.
So now, do I have to get them? I don't get them only during Festival of Lost. It didn't say that they come out then, right? My point is, if I want them, it might become very expensive if I want them soon.
Definitely.
I don't really like that because I can't just play the game to get them. I mean, you can, but it just takes forever to get that much silver dust is the short of it.
What was kind of interesting for me was that they tied the reveal of the Halloween event into ornaments, which is a system that's weird, So the ornaments
they tied
look
the
cool.
release of these ornaments?
Well, no. So in the weekly update this week, they're like, Festival of Lost is coming. We'll talk about it soon. Here's all all the ornaments you're going to be able to apply stuff once Festival of Lost hits. And it's just kind of like, okay.
But they're just tying it together because these are like the eviler sides of the ornaments, right? I mean, that's all they say. They're like, Festival of the Lost shall return, and with it is going to bring some of this autumnal flair.
Yeah.
And they say, you'll learn exactly how you celebrate it, but there's previews, for how you can costume Bad Juju, Red Death, Thorn. So you're getting costumes. See what they did there?
Yeah.
For your guns. And that's all we know about those guns for now, and it is worth noting that Last Word and Black Spindle are still to come before the end of 2017, but they didn't say with Festival of the Lost.
Here is one big update from the vendor. Fixed an issue where uncommon Warlock bonds were being sent to the postmaster for recovery. That's good. Also fix the vendor system so it doesn't get rid of my exotics and legendaries.
So I knew this. Where is this?
Right here. Greens, yeah.
fixed an issue where rares. Wait. Which one? Where is it?
Where uncommon warlock bonds, the green ones,
Yes.
were being sent to the postmaster for recovery and pushing out my exotic and legendaries.
Yes. Did you have this happen to you?
It did.
I was furious.
Yeah.
I went. I was trying to get Archon's Forge stuff done, and I was also in. What else was I doing? I did 2 things, and I went back and I pushed out my frickin' Vigil chest and something else from Trials and an exotic, I think, because the greens came piling in and a ton of blues. Like, I hope not only did they fix the greens, but blues should never push out purple or an exotic.
Yeah.
Ever. I came back. I mean, I was furious. I couldn't. It was like 10, 15 minutes. I just felt like devastated.
Yeah.
Because I was saving it for the hard raid. I needed to infuse that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, they did fix that bug. I hope that does not happen again because I was
especially for
very raw about
greens.
it.
I went on a little rant too when it happened to me. Like, I was upset.
It was bad. It was a very bad bug. I understand these bugs happen. I wish that I didn't know about it until it happened. Someone's like, oh, yeah, they said they're fixing that. I was like, well, that doesn't help me now.
Yeah, well, great.
That's like hot fix. That's hot fix. Fix it now.
Yeah. One really positive update is now Trials of Osiris, Iron Banner, Crucible, and Strike Hordes will provide drops up to 400 light. That was great. I meant to say Archon's Forge. Archon's Forge can drop ghosts and artifacts up to 400 light. You have a reason to go to Archon's Forge now, which is fantastic. Do one of those perfecteds. I got a 389 blue artifact. So I think they just upped the
Wait, what? Wow.
Yeah.
I would have expected up to 385
I got
in blues,
2
maybe, but
389 blue artifacts.
Weird.
And I just infused them into my Yoler.
Huh.
Well, one into my Yoler, one into the one that gives your teammates super if you're full super. Those are the 2 that have been my go-tos.
Huh. But yeah, Archon's Forge already had that purpose, but especially now, it's up to 400. So.
And a lot more people are in there. It's a lot easier to hop in there and find people playing because we're all doing that grind to 400 right now, and you need that artifact, and that is a much easier way to do it.
Yeah, and
which is really nice.
You shouldn't feel like you have to go back to Court of Oryx and grind that out and go to Eris, which you can do. You can get that bounty that drops and do that. Is it a weekly bounty, I think, or something? But anyway, you can go and get that bounty, and that helps. But the grind on Eris is a long time.
Yeah.
Archon's Forge, as long as there's people there, is a lot better.
Yeah.
But if you run out of Siva offerings...
Then
That's
it's
the
like,
problem.
all right, walk out and walk back in until I get one that started.
That reminds me of another major issue I have.
Skeleton
actually.
keys?
Those not trying, but no. Let's take it back a moment to the freaking the splicer keys to get into Archon's Forge.
Oh yeah, they did say those drop a little more often.
Okay, well they need to drop more often, but let me explain what happened to me.
They drop in the raid. They drop on normal bosses and 2 for heroic mode bosses.
But here's what really pissed me off.
Oh, those are Siva key fragments.
That's what I meant.
Never
Sorry,
mind.
Or no, it is the splicer keys that get you into Archon.
You're right. Yeah.
So anyway, what happened to me was I went to go do some Archon's Forge bounties, and I'm like in there, and I was with someone, and I was like, I put it in the offering, and I was like, oh crap, I'm gonna switch my gun,
and then you got locked out.
Yeah, that was it. I didn't have any keys. Except for on my other character. I had 10 keys. I'm like, oh, well, I'll just use dim to, oh, that's right, you can't transfer the keys. So I had 10 keys. I was stuck. He's in there doing my offering. I can't get in. And then he came out, and I forget he accidentally did something that he got locked out. It's
just like you failed.
You have to fix this locking people out of your own, like doing your own thing. I mean, that alone, like I shouldn't have to use a key within, honestly, it's like 7 or 8 seconds or something. I don't know what the timer is.
Archon's Forge,
not a good system.
Archon's Forge is probably the most disappointing part of Rise of Iron.
I don't mind it, but take away all those rules. Like,
it's weird.
Make
Let
it closer
people
to
go
court.
in there. What? Anybody can go into Court of Oryx, and it's fun.
It's good.
You know?
Exactly. Like, I don't understand that punishment factor. I mean, there's probably something there. Like when you die,
we don't want you stacking offerings. Why? So it takes me 14 years to finish one of my Shiro bounties?
I guess. Yeah, I think it needs to be as simple and arcadey as prison has been. Like, just jump in and have fun. None of these rules about you're in prison, Guardian.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not Varix that controls it, but.
Maybe
you're back in prison, basically. That's the irony. It's Archon's prison up there. So
irony.
Terrible. On that note,
I think that's all we had to talk about today, Fran. Is there anything else you want to head off on?
We went off on enough rant. This is what happens when it's only the two of us. It's like, oh, I have a rant.
I have something to get off my chest.
Yeah, I forgot to complain about this thing. But maybe to end it on a more positive thing. I mean, definitely happy with hard raid so far. I think some people were surprised it wasn't super duper hard, but
I like the gear.
It's appropriate. The gear's nice. I'm feeling good about it. I can't wait for challenge mode. So yeah, it's good stuff.
Did you get the 6-minute thing for your book?
Oh yeah, I did. At least I finished. One of the parts of the raid, if you finish under 6 minutes, you get that in your book, which is nice. There's a couple other things from the hard raid, I believe, that are in there. So
it's do that and finish the hard raid.
Yeah.
Make sure you'll get it. Don't worry.
Yeah, you'll probably get it anyway. It's not exorbitantly hard once you figure out what you're doing anyways.
Brandon, your character unlocked a new ability to fly.
Oh yeah, that's right. I sent Destin a clip. I was
clip.
I was streaming and I was in the middle of the siege engine, the Zamboni as everybody likes to refer to it. And I don't know what happened, but I freaking popped Stormcaller and I think a captain was underneath me and a bomb hit and I just went like Superman and off the map. I flew off the map like Stormcaller. It was awesome, actually.
It was pretty funny to
felt
watch.
super powerful until I fell off the edge. And
You're
died.
like, I got this.
Yeah. I was like, okay, guys, I'm going in. And I just bounced off the map. Their physics in the game are actually really cool, but sometimes, they rebound like that.
Like Shield Brothers, where they hit you once and you're just like...
You go flying off the screen. Or sometimes, just someone's head bumps into you and you go flying into the ceiling. But it was a hilarious clip that I sent Destin on Twitter if you'd like to see. It
was really good. All right. That's all we have time for today. Thanks, Fran, for making time today. We are crazy here at IGN right now.
Oh, my goodness.
It is the busiest time
Nintendo
of year.
Switch. You got Red Dead Redemption. So be sure to check out, Nintendo Voice Chat. Head over there. We have tons of stuff. I was just on an episode of that before I came here. Dissecting Nintendo Switch. I don't know if you're on lock this week or anything like that, Destin, but...
I skipped it, but I am normally on Unlocked. I had to skip it today because we were reacting to the Nintendo Switch reveal. So we got that all shot today, and you can expect that soon on IGN. We just have a lot of other stuff going on.
It's been crazy.
But I'm glad we can still
that time of year.
talk Destiny, one of my favorite games.
We made time on a Thursday for it.
Yeah, that's right. All right. On that note, thank you, Fran, and thank you guys for listening. Until next time, Guardians out.